Hey guys, what's up? This is Drummond's second place deck list for the Treasure Cup today.
So, I was piloting Black Luffy SD14, and I'm kind of building kind of a hybrid of the starter deck cards, as well as other black generic cards and some Dressrosa ones. So we'll start off with 2 Suru. This is just a very generic 2k counter. Very playable with Gecko, helps you get that neg 2 if you need a KO. There's not too much KO in this deck, but when it comes up, it comes up. So I'm only including 2 just in case you see it. Next is 4 one-legged toy soldier. Dressrosa 2k, searchable for when I get to the Dressrosa package. Very usable in many scenarios. You know, you pay 2 to the neg 3. It's basically your Helmeppo, and you can get it back in trash if you need to play it on that Gecko turn. So you can play one-legged toy soldier, use it, play the Gecko, play another one if you need to. If you have a Brook on board, you can kill a 7 cost with neg 6. So pretty usable there. Searchable. Next is Barto. Everyone remembers this from when Rebecca was a deck. So 4 Barto 2k, it's a blocker. And you can add it back with Rebecca, the Rebecca blocker. You can play it if you need a blocker as well. Very, very usable card. And probably one of the ways the deck's the most consistent. Next is 3 Rebecca Searcher. So I don't play 4 because you don't need to search too much. You kind of only want to find a Saba blocker or one of the 2Ks. Otherwise you're just filling up your graveyard, as Black does, so you can play with the Gecko, Moria and Rebecca. You can kind of get the value back with the Searcher, and as there's not many early game players, this is fine early on. Next is a new card from ST14. It's Nico Robert. So on play, if you have an 8 cost, you can next something worth 5, so you get an Ice Age. So on play when attacking, Ice Age, very, very usable. You can do it on your 7 on turn if you have stage. Extremely good, very scary card, but it's going to be an 8 cost in your field most likely, and many decks can't deal with it. Next is Rebecca, probably one of the best cards Black's ever seen. Very usable. Add back Barto, add back Robin if you need to, add back anything, play it off Gecko. Card's way too good. Next, one of the KO cards, Brook. Very good card. Usually it's easy to remove because it's a 3 cost, but in this deck, it's boosted up by 1 or 2 based on your leader or your stage. You can add it back to Rebecca, play it, and you can do a lot of nice things off it. Just a very versatile card, and as people might know from Lucci, it can do a lot of nice stuff. Next, 4 Sabo. This deck relies on Sabo quite a bit because you need a cycle to find your good cards, as well as setting up your graveyard for Gecko or for another card I'll show up later. But otherwise, it's very good into the mirror, and it's just a very good way of protecting your board, because there's no way to remove it except for bottom decking, but with Red Purple Law going, you're only really dealing with Gravity Blade, and against that deck, you're not really playing Sabo, you can use a counter. Next, 2 4-drop Kuzan. This card's not the greatest in this deck, but you mainly play it early on if you're going second or first. You have a card that draws. So, pretty nice. As well as the neg 4 can be very scary. Next is another ST14 card, Sanji. This card is a 5 cost Sakazuki. If you have a 6 cost on infield, kill a 5 cost. So if you have stage, this is just pay 5, kill a 5. Very usable. Next is 3 7-drop Luffy. This is part of the reason why I played the Dressrosa package, which is to find this Luffy in particular, because the main way that this card was removed before was by Katakuri or things that kill a 7. But with stage and leader, he's a 9 cost. Very annoying to remove when he's a 9 cost, and helps you establish that board pressure, especially against the Nal, where you can get that double swing off. Next is Gecko. Card's way too good not to play. You can play Rebecca, you can play both Rebeccas, just to get some value off. Play 2-legged Soldier, and then play Kuzan, Neg, swing the Brook you have. A lot of things you can do in this deck, very, very nice. So, no reason not to include Gecko, plus it's a 9 cost when you have a dot under leader, and 9 costs are very annoying to remove, especially when you're also a 6k leader, so they kind of don't have too much. Next, we got 4,000 Suns. So on play, draw a card for your Straw Hat leader, which is, you're drawing 1, so it recycles itself. Plus all your black Straw Hat crews gain +1. So your Sanji, your Robins, your Brooks, they're all getting that +1, your Luffy. So it helps them stay alive a bit more against removal decks, because +1 just kind of destroys a lot of decks. So if you have stage and you're using the Don and the leader, your Sanjis can't be removed by Gravity Blade, so your Robins. Next we have 2 I Have My Crew. This card just draws 1, and if you have a character, you can give one of your characters +3. Kind of a cycle card, but if you need to get that to the 8 cost for any of the cards you need, like the Robin, you can use this. Not that great. You could take it out. It's basically just the Tempest Kick. And next is the GOAT of the deck. We have Gum Gum Diablo 3 Sword Style Mutant Jet 600-pound Phoenix Cannon. So this card is the MVP. You pay 2, give one of the characters all the 3k for the turn. Absolutely insane. It's like Armoru. And then you have an 8 cost in the field, kill a 2 cost. So if you have Robin, Don Unbeliever, you swing, you make something by 5, you can use this to kill a 7 cost. So you're basically paying 2 to kill a 7, which is very useful. You can also do it with 2-legged soldier, which is why he's in the deck. This is kind of a combo card. Could increase this to 3, but it's not reliable when you want to see it. But if you do see it, you love saying that name of that card. And the trigger's pretty good. You have an 8 cost on the field, kill a 5 cost, which is just handy if you need to. But otherwise, I think this deck's pretty solid. I did lose against Bonnie in the final round, but I think against Black, Anel, and Boa, where you can increase the cost of your characters, very, very good deck. People often struggle because you've got that 6k and you're pumping up bodies which can't be removed. So overall, I think this deck's pretty good, and I hope we'll see more people play it.
What was the hardest match of the day?
The hardest matchup was definitely the Analaverse. That game went down to the wire. You can actually find that game on the channel. It will be there. It went really,
Nice
really
comments
close.
only, please.
Nice comments only. Don't bully anyone. Unless you're Bert Grotto, then you can, do whatever.
I am Bergado.
The other hard matchup was Bonnie. I kind of got dumpstered by Bonnie, I won't lie. When this deck doesn't see the stage and other things, it does absolutely nothing, so prepare. Otherwise, it's a very fun deck. Make sure you guys visit Burgers Geelong when you have the chance. Very good place for food, and they help us out, so yeah.
Just want to say.
I love saying Gum Gum Diablo 3 Sword Style Mutant Jex 600 Phoenix Cannon.
Anything you'd change out?
I wouldn't change this deck. You could maybe take out a Luffy and add another Suru or another event, maybe a Tempest Kick in there, or an Ice Age. But otherwise, I think this deck's pretty good. You can maybe put even a 3-cost Kobe in, but otherwise, that's fine.
Alright. Thanks, Drummond.